Building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum. Good evening, guys. This is Celeste, and I'm with my co-teacher, Miss Lori, and this is my other co-teacher, Miss Evelyn. Yes. And now we just finished our dinner here in Pepper Lunch. And yes, I think we are ready, and they are ready to answer the questions about their teaching experience as a practitioner. So I would like to start my question with Miss Evelyn here. So I would like to ask her the questions about which are the highest priorities that you have as a practitioner and why.
Well, there are so many priorities that we can mention, but I think the highest priority would be, I think every teacher would say the students, and I would like to explain it. It is very important that we, the teachers, the practitioners, are aware of the profile of the students. So when I say profile, so the teacher has to know if this student has, for example, dyslexia, is a dyslexic student, which is having some difficulty in reading materials, or reading something, and the letters are kind of like mixed up. So it is very important that the teacher knows that the student has some learning conditions or learning disabilities. So going back to the dyslexia example, so the teacher should know, like, okay, how can I teach this student if he or she has dyslexia? How can he or she learn? So what are the possible ways we can help the student? Or maybe someone who has ADHD, like students who are hyper because of the hormones going in their brain. So the teacher should know, how can we help the students? How can we teach them science, English, or whatever subject it is? How can we help those students depending on the profile of the learners? So I think that's the most important things to consider.
So, Evelyn, I have a additional question to that about the profile of the student. So, how will you know that certain student has like disability, for example, like dyslexia? Do the school give you the profile of the kid?
Well, that is a very good question. So usually the school would give an assessment to the student, especially when it's a new student who just came in the school. So the student has to take an assessment, which usually takes, it depends on whatever test. Sometimes it'll take for a few hours. Sometimes another assessment will take a week or some few days. But there will be a test. There will be a testing to know if this student has a learning condition. So that's what we do.
I see.
And we talk to an educational psychologist to know, to know what are the strategies and how we can help this student.
Okay. Last one question, Miss Evelyn. That is very a good topic to be known by the practitioner, and it's like an inclusive classroom.
Yes.
Because we're not gonna separate them.
And
right?
like what they always say, every student learns in a different way. But still we accept them. We learn them. We help them. Get that knowledge in different ways that we can help them.
I totally agree, because it's so important that they're part of a certain society. We don't want to separate them. We don't want to feel them that they have an emotional problem and we're gonna add it. We're not